Greetings, dear viewers of ANH. We bring you an exclusive interview from the Awami National Conference's office at Srinagar. We have with us very important guest who is a senior political leader and the vice president of Awami National Conference. We bring you straight from the headquarters of ANC, Mr. Muzaffar Shah. Thank you for joining us at ANH.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Sir, you have been backstabbed not once but twice, PAGD, which you have been part of. One is Mr. Shah Faesal and another is Sajad Lone. How do you take this? What is the disruption that it has caused in the helms of PAGD?
Well, definitely, as far as Sajad Lone is concerned, he has been a part and parcel of us. And definitely, if somebody leaves for whichever reason, you do feel a little upset. There's no doubt about it. But he had his own views and all. Though what he wrote to the president of the PAGD, Dr. Farooq Abdullah, that could be talked in the forum that is available to us in the core committee, wherein he also is a member. I am a member. We are about 6 or 7 of us. And the only difference, the only thing that I could tell him is, well, best of luck to him. And we will definitely raise such issues.
Don't you think it has incurred a mighty blow to PAGD, such a senior leader leaving?
Yes,
And do you think it has disoriented PAGD as a movement that you had formed?
Not at all. Not at all. I am repeating, not at all. PAGD today is all over Jammu, Kashmir, Ladakh and Kargil. It is more stronger when it was formed on 4th August 2019. It is more stronger today than it was that time, because today the massive population of Jammu, Kashmir and Ladakh are for restoration of 370 and 35A. They feel that, well, these articles were not Kashmir based and they had nothing to do with religion or region. This is for every Hindu, Muslim, Sikh, Christian, Kashmiri Pandit, or Gujar Bakalwal communities, Pahadis. It is for everybody. It is for the safety of their land, their jobs, their education, their our culture and our distinct identity. It is a guarantee for that, enshrined through the Constitution of India to the people of Jammu and Kashmir and their constitution.
So when you first formed and raised alarm when GST was implemented, we saw you in a different camp. We didn't see you together with Mr. Farooq Abdullah. So what has made you change and shift towards Mr. Farooq Abdullah and other mainstream regional parties? At the time of GST, you were not seen together. But what has changed?
Because this was a direct attack on our identity, on our culture, on our constitution, on our flag, on the boundaries of Jammu and Kashmir. We got broken into two parts. Ladakh is one side and Kargil, and Jammu and Kashmir on the other side. Though we have 1300 years relationship between Ladakh and Kashmir, Kargil. And this was a direct assault on the promise, on the ironclad guarantee that was given by the forefathers of modern India to the forefathers of present Kashmir situation.
As a constitutional expert, do you think you have failed miserably to protect the Article 370 or get it back for the people of Jammu and Kashmir? As your MPs are still in the same house, same parliament, which has revoked and abrogated Article 370. They didn't resign. There's a perception we did a vox populi and people are very dissatisfied and not convinced by the moves that PAGD has been doing on ground.
Well, that is one perception, but the ground reality is that the case of 370 is under the consideration of the highest court of this country, and I hope that one of these days the honorable court, the quorum that has been set for this, they will have to sit down and they will have to listen to us. They will have to listen to whosoever they want to. And as far as we are concerned, we know that 370 from our side, it is a watertight case. They will have to strike back whatever has happened from August 2019, 5th August. whatever has happened till now, that is illegal and unconstitutional.
At the time of BDC, you didn't participate, but at the time of DDC elections, you did. And people think you just want to rule them rather than advocate for their rights.
That's not true. The question was that at that time, even our dear friend Sajad, who now parted ways, he was one of the most vocal that we should fight these elections, because the game plan of the BJP is to come and snatch the what you call the grassroots. Not only that, it was basically that if people like us remain away, they would have a cakewalk and they would present to the whole world that, look, Kashmir has accepted the decision that was made on 5th August 2019. So that was the reason that even compelled person like me, who has been very far away from elections for a long time, that we said, no, we will go in and we will go in together. And we did go in together and we won handsomely in Kashmir. We also won very well in Jammu, almost very close to 138, 140 seats, and almost another 40-45 seats we would have got more, for which Mr. Sajad Lone also made a big cry that there was people down below at the workers level did not gel together and these candidates were set up. So had that not happened, we would have been up by almost another 40-45 seats. Oh, that's part and parcel of this entire game.
We see Mr. Shah Faesal, you didn't comment on him, but I would reframe the question again. We see him tweeting and batting for Narendra Modi these days, and he has been very praiseworthy of the Prime Minister and also the current regime that is ruling Kashmir. He has been tweeting about Mr. Narendra Modi, retweeting rather, and then he left politics. That doesn't seem he has really left, because he's still talking about politics on his Twitter handle. So how do you see his loss? Do you see him as a loss to PAGD, or what is your remarks on that?
No loss. Well, I can only say I wish people like him and all the others who are batting for the policies that have been implemented here from 5th August 2019. I wish they stood in one row behind the people of Jammu, Kashmir and Ladakh. We would have had a very different situation, because basically we want to tell even the BJP and the RSS that, hey, come on, we are talking under the framework of the constitution of this country. Please let us sit down, thrash it out. What have you done is not acceptable. It will never be acceptable. Do you mean to tell me that the people who made this constitution of this country, from Baba Sahib Ambedkar and all the other people that were involved at that time, Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru. Why Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru? Right from Mahatma Gandhi to Sardar Patel to Gopalaswamy Iyengar, Menon, from the side of the at that time India, to Sher-e Kashmir Sheikh Muhammad Abdullah, his Constituent Assembly team. Do you mean to tell me those were the people who came up with the constitution for this country? You mean to tell me they did not have brains enough? They gave a special status to Jammu and Kashmir because of certain reasons, certain compulsions, political and geographical compulsions. And you today say that you have got a massive majority in the parliament and you suddenly tear down your own constitution. Who is going to listen to it? I am pleading to the Honorable Supreme Court that please open the case on 370 and decide it once and for all. Come on. We have no animosity with anybody, whether it is BJP or RSS. Well, their game plan is different right from 1947. We have no animosity. Basically the people are suffering here. The people of Jammu, Kashmir and Ladakh are suffering because of the decision that you have taken on 5th August 2019. My entire trade and commerce is crippled. And today you are telling me that I am going to now impose house tax on you? No, not accepted.
BJP's narrative has been that parties like yours and National Conference and PDP have been looting or have been actually, they have imposed their own legacy, or their family lineage has been put forth, only leaders come from their family lineage, and they are actually exploiting the resources of Jammu and Kashmir.
I'll answer you that. I'm very sorry to tell them, and they know that. In spite of this propaganda they have unleashed through their systems, through their IT systems, through their people who came to campaign here. Still, the PAGD election, the PAGD resounding win, that has people have again reimposed faith in those same very people who they are talking about.
So will
And
PAGD go for elections again without restoration of Article 370?
one thing I'll say.
Please.
When you say, okay, people have looted, corruption, well, I have told them, please pinpoint a case. Pinpoint the cases who have looted the exchequer. Pinpoint the cases who have done corruption. They tried.
J&K Cricket Association about Dr. Farooq Abdullah, that he was questioned by.
I'll tell you.
agencies
They
or
tried.
ED.
They tried in the elections to rake up the this Roshni Act, and then when they finally found out that it was basically in Jammu that the basic problem was there, and who were involved in there, most of our BJP friends, most of the legislatures, they had misused Roshni. Not the families that they tried to target here in Kashmir. They had not.
About Farooq Abdullah and about PDP as well, back entries into J&K bank recruitments. All these cases have been,
They are under
put forth.
investigation. Yes, they are under investigation. Let the result come.
So
Well,
you are saying that there was no corruption in previous regimes or governments that were formed.
I never say that. There is corruption throughout this country. But you have to come with specific cases. Like I can tell you that out of 24 people who have looted more than 10 lakh crores of this country, our money, we are also taxpayer. I am a taxpayer.
Absolutely.
20 out of 24 or 25, 23 are from Gujarat. And they have BJP leanings. Only one person is from South India. That is Vijay Malaya of Kingfisher. Those are cases which have been established that they have looted the money from the banks. Now here you are putting up the cases against cricket and against this bank and all. Come on, prove it, give it.
So you're very sure that those cases have no footings?
As far as I know, as far as about this cricket thing, whatever little I have known. Because I have also got a notice. My mother has got a notice on that because she is the elder sister of Dr. Farooq Abdullah. My younger aunt has got a notice. My other uncle has got a notice. We are all involved in it now.
One family, two parties. Can you explain to our viewers why?
Oh, that is a huge thing. That is a case of 1984, and wherein my
Do we see that ANC and NC are coming together and now there will be a reunion?
As far as PAGD is concerned, we are there together for the restoration of 370 and 35A. As far as coming together of both the organizations, well, let us leave it to God Almighty and
So you're leaving us with a possibility here.
Why not? There can be a possibility.
Lesser known diplomats of European Union visited for 2 days. Although India's foreign policy is no external intervention into the dispute of Jammu and Kashmir. How do you see their visit? This is for the third time.
Well, this is, I would say that the Government of India policy, they'll have to really tell the world or the country what is their policy. If the European Union is coming third time, which means you are accepting the fact that this is not only a local issue or a national issue, this is an international issue. Otherwise, European Union has, as far as BJP and their ideology is concerned, they have no business here. And these guys have come 2-3 times earlier also. They have come again here. We welcome them with open arms for tourism. Please come in. Because they came in as tourists, they went around, they met sponsored people, sponsored programs and went back. It has no, for a common citizen of Jammu and
They did not visit you. Wasn't your moral obligation that you reach out to those European Union delegates?
This was a sponsored program from the Government of India. Basically, otherwise, we have just finished DDC elections. PAGD has won the elections. The real stakeholders, the number one stakeholders, it was the job of the Government of India to make a program and ensure that PAGD has a one-to-one talk with them. So they met with people, God bless them, it doesn't mean nothing, it's of no value, that's what I can say.
What do you think are the wider implications and ramifications of abrogation of Article 370? We see that domicile certificates are already being given in the state of Jammu and Kashmir, or now as they call it, the Union Territory of Jammu and Kashmir. What do you think will be the future implications?
I've been saying it from the time these domicile certificate issue was started. It is of no value. Here, the state subject of Jammu and Kashmir, he is the owner of the land and the owner of the property. You cannot change it, come what may. You can give 20 million domicile certificates. It's of no
So
consequence.
if PAGD or these regional parties come into power, will
These laws will be scrapped within the first 5 minutes.
But when we see Farooq Abdullah again going to the parliament or the house, we didn't see him roaring there. I mean, we saw him usual as before. We didn't see him batting for Article 370 so strongly this time.
No, their organization and us and all us are together. We are in the Supreme Court. We are standing there. And as far as them, what they talk in the parliament, and that's for the individuals, you ask them.
An individual, Arnab Goswami, gets a bail from Supreme Court within a week. The case reaches Supreme Court and it is heard. Article 370 that has implication and has disturbed millions of Kashmiris. It's not being heard. We don't see any developments. Can you?
This is what we are through your channel also. I am requesting, pleading before the Honorable Chief Justice of India and the Honorable Supreme Court that please open up our case. You cannot hold it like that under the carpet. It is a matter of 1.3 crore people of Jammu, Kashmir and Ladakh. You have to hear us. It's very important. It can't be held like that.
There is property tax and new laws that are being introduced to Jammu and Kashmir that has, changed the scenario on ground. There is a geographical and geological implication of that, or economical implication of that. The demographic change is there. So what are you doing on ground? Because we see rallies of Apni Party, we see them holding conventions and other things, but PAGD is not seen on ground. What is the reason?
No, as far as property tax and all is concerned, I have a simple question for the Government of India. I have a simple question through your channel to the Honorable Prime Minister, Honorable Home Minister. Dear says, after abrogation of 370 and 35A, the economy of Jammu and Kashmir, because of tourism, the trade, commerce, particularly Kashmir division, it also spills down to Ladakh because tourism is hit in Ladakh, Kargil, Kashmir as well as Jammu. The sectors connected with it, the allied sectors, they are all badly hit. And our Chamber of Commerce organizations, they have presented a paper to the Government of India that it has cost us more than 70 to 80,000 crores. That is our loss, direct loss of the decision that you took on 5th August 2019. Right? My economic packages of the flood times has still not come in. Out of 80,000 crores, you have just paid 30,000 crores. Another 50,000 is pending. When 50,000 crores and 70,000 crores means almost 1.20 lakh crores, Government of India owes to the people of Jammu and Kashmir. How do you expect when I have no revenue, I have no earnings, you expect me to pay you tax on that? Who will pay you tax here? It will be very difficult. Please rescind this order.
BJP in general has accused the previous two chief ministers of the Jammu and Kashmir state of being no different than other regimes. For example, I will give you two examples. Afzal Guru hanging during the Umar Abdullah reign. Then also in Chief Minister Mehbooba Mufti's hundreds of pellet victims. So why do you think people should assert confidence or believe in these parties again and bring them to rule again?
As far as I am concerned, look, this question has to be put to...
But you're part of the PAGD.
I am part of the PAGD for 370.
You're batting for the same people and wanting these parties to take control again.
Our job is 370, 35A. When it comes to formation of governments...
But you contested elections together. You didn't contest elections differently. You contest them together.
So when it comes to the next elections, we'll see at that time what is the situation.
You will not contest elections.
I don't know as yet. We don't know as yet. But we won't leave the field free also. That's also a situation that they should understand. We won't leave the field free.
Do we see more people leaving PAGD soon, like Sajad Lone?
No, I don't think so.
But that's what you said last year about
We can have differences. We can have differences. We have serious situations. We have serious situations amongst us.
Do you still see PAGD as working? I mean, do you see it will function?
Absolutely. In Jammu as well as in Ladakh and Kargil. Yes.
What makes you so hopeful? We want to know, because on ground we see European Union delegates coming in.
That has it changed the ground reality? Not at all. We have to be optimistic, and we have to seek two things: that something has to be done on Kashmir, and good governance has to be put here in place. And that's my answer to it.
Ministry has been saying that the situation has been becoming better in Kashmir, but we see there are militancy-related incidents still happening. Today, 2 policemen lost their life to an attack in Baseerat, Srinagar. How do you reiterate on that?
Well, situation on the ground is not good. Home Ministry or Prime Minister's office can say what they want. As far as the ground situation is concerned, security situation is concerned, it is very disturbing, and it is limping back to, I think, even to 90s. That's number one. Number two, as far as the development that they are talking about, well, there has been nothing on the ground that can be called as development since the last 2 years, or since the time Jammu and Kashmir fell into a governor's rule, a direct rule from Delhi. Until and unless you don't have public representatives in office, you don't have a legislature, things won't.
Do you still see Pakistan as a stakeholder? Because there is a shadow ban from India. They don't want to talk to Pakistan. Do you see them as stakeholders?
There is no other way, because one part of our territory is with Pakistan. One part of our territory is under China. How can you say they are not stakeholders? Pakistan is absolutely a stakeholder. We cannot escape that fact. How can I close my eyes to reality? This is the reality of life. You have to face it.
So, Prime Minister Imran Khan in Pakistan has recently also reiterated his opinion that the independent resolution, or one part of that resolution that was not incorporated in the UN resolution, he has said that we're willing to give people of Jammu and Kashmir that option. So how do you see that? Do you welcome that statement?
That is between the Prime Minister of Pakistan and then Prime Minister of India. I think you should keep me out of that, because and that is for our leadership to answer. I am alone cannot answer such a huge question.
There is one allegation, this is my last question, from BJP, that when the regional parties were in power, separatist camp was on fire, they were active. But now they have cut their tail off. Do you see that they're nowhere to be seen on ground? Do you think, yes, in your governments they were allowed to actively take part in separatist politics, and now because of BJP they are not there?
I think BJP's this hard policy on Kashmir is not reaping dividends what they were wanting. And if it is not controlled quickly, Jammu Kashmir can really go for a spin. So we are in a very severe situation at this time, and I hope Government of India will realize what is happening on the ground. And it is time that they start talking to the people who can really sit down with them, and who are the real stakeholders, and who have the experience and the ability to sit down and see that what is to be done. It is a very serious situation that is emerging now.
Thank you very much, Mr. Muzaffar Shah, for speaking to ANH.
Thank you.
This was Mr. Muzaffar Shah from ANH office, and we are very thankful to him for giving us his time. This was ANH, and we'll be back with another interview.